All right. Morning. What's up? How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. Another week. Another week. Gap scan looking promising today. Lots of potential popping up. Nothing that's really A plus yet, or that's obvious. Coming to the open. Good morning, James. What's up? Bolton. Good morning, Peter. Good morning, GM. What's up? Question: DAS sync with TOS work well now? Yeah, I mean, it does work if you want to use it. I prefer not to use it. I still find it actually still slower than Thinkorswim orders. So, I'm not using it. I am not using it, unfortunately. I'm still using it only as a data provider, not executing orders. If I slow down my film, I can see there's like a half a second delay extra. So I don't know. Maybe your experience could be different though. I know some people use it nice, like flawlessly. I have no idea. Maybe something I don't know. Maybe they just like it. But for me, that's what I see. I get better fills with Thinkorswim orders more reliably. Not every time. I mean, there's been a couple times like last week where I'd send an order. It was just obvious I should be getting filled at a certain price, and then the stock is so volatile, I get filled like 10 cents higher. And even if I slow down the film, it says that I sent the order at that right price, but I ended up getting filled at a different price. It definitely does happen, but it's definitely less often with Thinkorswim orders than with DAS orders. Good morning, Morgan. ZNTL, take a look. ALB, good morning. Trap Trader, good morning. Norsail, good morning. GM, no problem. All right, so let's take a look here at the gap scan. Starting from the top, our leading gapper, NCNA. NCNA, this one, shares trading higher. The company announced final data from phase 2, New Tide 701 study, which I guess is their drug, at ESMO Congress on the drug in combination with pembrolizumab for patients with metastatic melanoma who are refractory to or had relapsed on prior PD inhibitor therapy. So a lot of mumbo jumbo that the average person is not going to be able to understand unless they are in the industry. So I have no idea what many of this stuff means. I know melanoma. I think that's like cancer, right? Some sort of it's like a yeah. It looks like it is. I think it's some sort of cancer, right? So it could be a cancer catalyst on phase 2 study. Announced phase 2. So announced phase 2 study. So let's see is there results on it? Is it positive results? I assume. Okay, it's just saying that it presented the final data. It didn't publish the data in the news article here. But maybe it'll be enough to move the market. Who knows? Yeah, sun cancer, melanoma, sun cancer. Cristobal, hey Triad. Hey Cristobal, what's up? What's up? Yeah, so NCNA, let's take a look here at the float. Yeah, make sure I'm drinking my coffee. I'm just still half asleep. I just woke up like 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. Okay. NCNA. Float 1.93 million. So nice low float. Price range here 673. Spread showing about 3 cents right now. So that'll probably open up at the open as far as the spread. So definitely want to be careful with that if it's volatile. We had a high here at 969. So after hours on Friday when the news was announced, ripped up on less than 50,000 shares all the way up to 950, which is crazy. Did not hold those highs one bit. Coming all the way back down. Now kind of bouncing here off the lows. Do I think we're going to break 10? I don't know. I think the chances are likely against it to break these highs. It's just so far off. But if this is the only one that's moving, if this is the only one that gets the attention at the open, I mean, it could definitely happen. Could definitely happen. It does have a low float. It does have a news catalyst, phase 2, cancer catalyst, phase 2 data on the drug. It definitely ticks most of the boxes. However, the one box it doesn't tick is a solid pre-market chart. So maybe we'll get some price action scalps on it, but as far as front side momentum, breaking this previous high after hours yesterday or Friday, I would say that could potentially be very low likelihood of breaking that. But who knows? Maybe we'll be able to get some trades in this area and this today's range. Looks like we had a decent kind of relative front side at 7 a.m. So even if we see like kind of a smaller front side, it could probably get some green on it or some opening range scalps. So that's NCNA daily chart. I mean, unless we break that after hours high on Friday, then we're looking to get in some serious territory where we could have some room, but we're gonna have to break these areas again. Daily chart. I mean, yeah, if you break 11, like our next level all the way up here at like 1941, which I'd be flabbergasted if this thing freaking actually rips that high. It has happened before. It has happened many times before, but the chances that this is the one that's going to go and do it, chances are not that it'll happen. So next stock here, BBLG up 55%, our second leading gapper. BBLG, Bone Biologics Corporation, $1 stock. Float on BBLG 1.86 million, so nice low float. 1 cent spread. I do very well with like 1 to 2 cent spreads, I've noticed, because I like to keep my risk tight. With larger spread stocks, you gotta be able to kind of hold on to your balls, like when it's really going against you, just for a moment, if the spread opens up. But yeah, sometimes it can be hard to do, especially if the spread, the spread sometimes can be unreliable. But the trade could still work out when the spread shows that you're in the red. But you just gotta like bite your tongue, which can be really hard to do. BBLG. I keep forgetting to ask, is Triad a reference to Tool? I'm not sure what you mean. Is ZNTL solid? I can take a look at ZNTL. I haven't yet. General CJ, good morning. Yeah, so BBLG, do we have news on this? No news. So no news on BBLG, 1.86 million share float, $1 stock, 1 cent spread, daily chart, ZNTL, okay, so ZNTL looks like a larger float, so that's why it's not at the leading gap here. Yeah, so kind of like a dead cat bounce sort of setup here. It made new lows, bouncing back up to over previous highs, so maybe a potential reversal setup off the lows. Maybe some short covering is going to be fueling this sort of move here. Our level would really be, I mean, we already hit the level here at 175. So unless we get back over 175, it's likely done. And it's got quite a ways to go. 50 cents on $1.25 a share is quite a bit. So unless we get back over 176, you know, it could be done. Volume's a little inconsistent here. You got some barcode effect. I don't really like BBLG, even though it is the second leading gapper. ZNTL, you guys have been calling out ZNTL. Let's take a look. This thing looks like a chop fest. I don't like it. I don't like it. I could already tell this float's big. ZNTL float 69.57 million shares. Oh yeah, I've heard of the band, yeah, Tool, but yeah, that isn't a reference. I don't really listen to them, but I've heard of him. It's like hard rock, heavy metal type of stuff, or metal. A little too intense for me. I like EDM, classic rock, sort of my two genres. 69.57 million. Do we have news on ZNTL? FDA removes partial hold on Zentalis Pharmaceuticals. Azenosertib studies in patients with gynecological cancers. So, let's see here. Lifted partial clinical hold on studies of, I guess, her drug, and remains on track to meet all previously disclosed data guidance for the remainder of 2024. First time I'm ever seeing this catalyst of an FDA hold being lifted on a specific drug, so I'm not really sure how this is going to react. So far we're only up 40%, 69 million share float. Rough chart, but maybe we can have some room in here. Yeah, back over 480s. Our next level would be up to maybe 540. There's not much room on this. Unless we really break 560. I mean, this is 9 million shares, 8 million shares. Yeah, unless we really break this candle here at 650, then we have a nice gap here to 850. But unless we get up to 650, this thing could just be a chop fest. So I'm not a big fan of ZNTL. Just the float's a little bit too big. Price action is going to be probably choppy. It's probably not going to have a direction in price action. So, yeah. Unless ZNTL is like literally just turning 5-6 million shares per 1 minute candle, this thing is probably not going to move like a low float, because it's not. Did we look at DRMA already? No, DRMA. DRMA. No news. No news on Dermata Therapeutics. But I do have a low float here. How low? How low can she go? 1.3 million? 1.3 million on DRMA. Pretty low considering it is a $2 stock. Able to turn the float pretty good. So maybe we can see a move based off the low float and short just getting squeezed out, whoever started their position here this morning. So this could be kind of sort of like a technical play, kind of just stock driven by no news. You did bounce up, kind of test this previous pivot area on the daily or on a 180-day here at around 380. Pulling back. I wouldn't want to see this much lower. We're quite a bit already off this level, but I think it's possible we could curl up and retest this level here of 373. And if we do, maybe a break through 4 and moving up into this territory here. It really depends. It really depends on the shorts. That's really what's going to drive this move because there is no catalyst. So unless a short is stuck kind of in this area, going to be covering into this after it was this pre-market. Yeah, 4 a.m. This 4 a.m. high, which likely it could also just fade from here as well. It's not a terrible chart. It's not a terrible chart. What looks the best? MCNA. I mean, look at DRMA. It's like already volume's fading. It's just gonna have to have some random volume pop, like we're at after the open, for it to really start to look good. Right now, it doesn't look good at all. So as far as right now, what looks good? MCNA, 50,000, 70,000 shares on a $6 stock. Not bad. Not bad. So dollar volume on MCNA is not bad. BBLG. Oh man, dollar stock turning 15, 30,000 shares. Dollar volume is in the gutter. So probably not A plus here on BBLG at the open. As far as open volatility, DRMA probably even worse. Yeah, 7,000 shares, 3,000 shares. Dollar volume is like $6,000 per 1 minute candle. Just terrible. Gonna have very low volatility and low liquidity coming into the open. CNTL, let's see dollar volume breaking out. Not bad, I guess, for dollar volume. 150,000 on this candle here, so maybe what is that, like $600,000-$700,000 on that candle. Next candle kind of matching it. Coming up to a psychological level here of 5. So maybe this is the one to watch for the open. I know it's a larger float, but because the open does get this crazy influx of volume, this could give that volatility to see a nice solid range on it. So ZNTL, I like it. It's on a front side move. I will trade this coming into the open. It looks like it's going to break 5 before the open. There it goes, 501. Are we going to continue to accelerate? I think this looks good. 322,000 shares. I think we're going to get a good solid influx of volume here coming into the open. I think we can see a solid range. This could be good. But as far as like after the open, let's say after 15-30 minutes into the open, this will probably start to get a little choppy. The range will probably start to get real tight, hard to profit. So as you guys are tuning into your own trading, make sure you drop that like on the way out. Subscribe if you're new. Hope you guys are getting some good value or entertainment value out of these live streams. Now again, I do this every single day from 9 to 9:30 a.m. Eastern time before the market open. Just checking the gap scan, going through the news, checking the charts, and preparing for the market open. So ZNTL, nice little influx here of volume coming into the open. No other stock in the gap scan is kind of getting this action, so this is probably going to be the main watch temporarily coming into the open. I'm sure after the open, attention will shift to one of these other stocks as ZNTL starts to get a little bit either more choppy or starts the ranges get really tight. Sometimes with these large floats, like the price won't move anymore, and it'll just kind of bounce between 1 cent up, 1 cent down, 1 cent up, 1 cent down for like hours. And it'll be really tough to trade. But at the open, I think we'll get that good volatility. So coming down, retesting this level here, the 90 EMA and the previous high. So kind of almost perfectly coinciding here. So could get some good support here right around 487, 488. Would want to see a bounce. But remember, 5 minutes into the open, remember what happens 5 minutes before the open. Can't place a trade or else you get stuck. That just happened to me last week. Sometimes it gets you stuck and sometimes it doesn't. So, anyone who's trying to take this trade here on Charles Schwab Thinkorswim, be careful. Because we are 5 minutes coming into the open. But it does look like it could be a decent setup. Testing previous highs and 90 EMA. So maybe we can see a nice bounce there. That lower volume here, lower selling volume as well on the dip. Always a good sign. Yeah, Chad, I was saying, yeah, it's a little high float. But this is the one that's getting the attention here coming into the open. Dollar volume is pretty decent. But I think the open, since it does provide a lot of volume and volatility, I think it will kind of offset the higher float, the 69 million share float here on ZNTL, at least for the first 10 or 15 minutes, providing good range and good volatility for the first few minutes after the open. But yeah, I'm not doubting that, after the 15 minutes or 30 minutes, it'll start to get choppy, tight range, and tough to trade. Those subtle news titles can boom hard, like the one ZNTL has. This is the one with the FDA hold that got removed. Yeah, I've never seen a news catalyst like this. I've been traded for 4 years, never seen or traded a news catalyst from an FDA removing a partial hold. So I'm not really sure, how this is going to unfold. So far, pretty decent. Up. What is it? 52%. So, could definitely have more in the tank for sure. Got a nice bounce here of that previous high at 9 EMA. That would have resolved beautifully. But again, Thinkorswim and Charles Schwab likes to put your order on hold 5 minutes before the open. I have no idea why. So I made that 1 minute candle make a new high, rejecting, coming back here down to the lows. Can we base out? Can we hold this previous low? Can I hold the previous low and curl up again to break this previous topping tail? So this is the 1 minute candle to make a new high that rejected. Now this is going to act as our sort of pivot point. This is what I call now a pivot point. So if we break back over this level, that could give us an entry for the highs, because it's showing strength. It's showing prices getting back to areas where we previously could not close above. So again, you could either be trading off the lows with a stop here at the lows, or you could be trading at the highs, anticipating a break of now the pivot for a trade now through the highs with a tight stop. So that's kind of my game plan here coming to the open. Want to trade either to the high end of this range or the low end. So you can either trade the low end holding support or anticipating a breakout. Or I could try to catch either a flush if it does break and kind of panic out. I could probably buy a nice dip. Or if we break out and then let's say I missed the breakout, I could look for the quick kind of pullback into the previous level to get in. So 1 minute to the open. Make sure you drop that like, subscribe on the way out. Hope you guys do well today. Follow your rules. This doesn't seem like too hot of a day, but follow your rules, your risk management, and you should come out on top. So good luck, and I'll catch you guys later. All right, peace.